Candy, one of the RNs. I'm just going to show you guys how to use a wheel, make a wheel to be using lidocaine. When you're using lidocaine, you want to have a pretty nice vein, and you never want to inject into the vein. When you use lidocaine, you're going to come down below wherever you're going to go in, and we're going to inject about 1/10 of a cc. You want to obviously clean your area that you're going to use lidocaine on. And when you come in with your lidocaine, the purpose of it is to use it to numb up the surface of wherever you're going to put your IV. So when you use your lidocaine, it's almost like a TB wheel. You are going to only use the bevel up, obviously, just like as if you're doing an IV. I'm going to scoot you towards me just a hair. You see we've got a nice vein here. We're going to come right below. You don't want to inject into it, and you don't want to get too close to an IV because you can vasoconstrict that. So you're going to come right below it. Just the bevel goes underneath the skin, and it's a very slow injection. I tell them sometimes you might feel a bee sting from this. I don't know why some people feel it. Some do, some don't. And I inject it pretty darn slow. If you inject too much too fast, you get too close to that vein, you can vasoconstrict that vein and lose your vein. So I usually inject about 1/10 of a cc there. You can see that we've got a really nice wheel there, and while you're injecting, it actually will numb up the surface of that. So you want to, I always just go over it again to make sure it's nice and clean. And when you put in your IV, whether you use a Braun or a Protect or whatever, you want to kind of hold it steady so it doesn't roly-poly around on you. You're going to go dead center of that IV, of that wheel with your IV, and you're going to go right into that vein, and you're going to slide it right up, release your tourniquet, and you're in. Obviously, we've got a great blood return. If you want, I did not bring down a flush, but obviously if you let go, you're going to see all your blood is coming out. You know you're in that vein. Did you feel that at all?
Did not.
Zero.
Did not. And the injection of the lidocaine, I barely felt.
Barely. Hence why I have used lidocaine for 30 years. Even in nursing school, my nursing career, I have always used lidocaine. It takes the bite out of the IV. If you inject a good wheel, if you do it very superficial like you're supposed to, like a wheel, like a TB wheel, some people don't even feel it at all, minimal, and they should not feel the insertion of that IV, which is most people's complaint of what hurts. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out. And that is how you do lidocaine. It's that simple. And as Steph just said, most people do not feel that lidocaine. Sometimes if you do, it's truly like a bee sting for about 2 or 3 seconds at the most, and it numbs up instantly. You should not feel that IV go in at all. And as Steph said, nothing. So that is how you use lidocaine.
Okay. So that was a good vein. Any tips or tricks on veins that aren't popping?
The big thing is if you can feel a vein, they're usually pretty good. Hand veins, I'm not a big hand user, as most of you know. The biggest thing is where you go. Some people come in and they're trying to go here. Your vein is actually, you can see her vein right here in her hand, even though I don't have a tourniquet on. Her vein actually is down here. Sometimes when I come in and I've saw where people have poked, they're trying to go dead center of this vein. Well, there's no vein for it to go. There's nothing for this catheter to get into there. It doesn't go anywhere. So the most important thing is to pick a good vein. You want a good inch. If you're putting in a 20 gauge, you want a good inch, a little over an inch of a nice straight vein. If you're putting in an 18, obviously they're a little longer, 1.25 inches. And just to give you guys a heads up, for those of you who like bronze, the 20 bronze are 1/4 inch longer than the Protects are. So if you're going to use a 20 Braun, you need a little longer vein because they are longer than the Protects are. So just be aware of that. The trick really is to find a nice good straight vein for about 1 inch. I don't have her tourniquet on right here, but you can see Steph has got a vein here. Not that the wrist is our favorite place to go. If you're second guessing, put a warm pack on. Warm packs do wonders for veins. Put a warm pack on. It will help those veins be a little more proud. So don't be afraid to use a warm pack either. That will usually help also. Steph shouldn't have any bleeding, and as you can see, no bruise, no nothing. So thank you for letting me poke you. But Steph's probably never had lidocaine before, so this is her first experience with it. So
no pain.
No pain whatsoever.
Nope.
And if you guys, Brenda and I are probably your two biggest advocates for lidocaine. Like I said, I've used lidocaine for, even in nursing school almost 30 years ago. You guys can always come and poke me. I have fantastic veins. The great thing about poking me with lidocaine, I can help you with your technique. And I would say, okay, what vein are you looking at? Well, this one might be better. This one's great. This is a great place to go. Bifurcations in veins. If you have two veins coming together, like if you have a vein coming this way and a vein coming this way and they both meet up, like Steph's got a nice vein here. This would have been a beauty too. But if you had one coming up diagonal and another one coming here, and then all of a sudden you can see this much, I can feel this much of this vein. If you can feel a vein, they're good to go. Bifurcations in veins right there at the Y, right below it, is a fantastic place because those two are meeting to come together. You know that vein's got girth to it. So look for bifurcations in veins too and go straight into it. So I do most of my IVs by feel. If you can feel a vein, they usually have a lot more girth than this little tiny superficial one you can see on the hand. I can promise you it's a much bigger vein. So good vein, choosing a good vein usually will help also. But I'm here, William's here. We're not afraid to let you guys come poke us with lidocaine. So anytime you want to come up and practice on us to get comfortable with it, feel free to come find us.
Okay. All right. Did you have to wait? Is there a time period you need to wait after injecting the lidocaine?
Lidocaine numbs up. We use 1% lidocaine, which is immediate. You definitely, there's no need to wait. Like, a lot of people have heard of that cream. That cream, you can leave that cream on for 45 minutes and it still won't get the underneath. That, to me, that cream is, I hate to say a waste of time, but it does not numb like lidocaine does. It numbs within 2 to 3 seconds. It is instant onset. So the minute, by the time that I was done injecting and I re-wiped her arm just to give a little cleaning to it, and put the IV in, was probably 10 to 15 seconds at the most, and it was already completely numb. It will numb within less than 5 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds. While you're injecting, believe it or not, even though they might have that little bee sting because you're still injecting, it's numbing at the same time, so it's usually numb within 5 to 10 seconds.
And the wheel's important because
the wheel is very important.
If you're not getting a wheel, you're either injecting into the vein.
Correct. And usually if you inject into the vein, you're going to get a big old bruise. You're going to bruise that vein and you're probably going to lose that vein. The wheel is very important to have that wheel. Your gray area is the elderly who have that really loose, crepey skin. Sometimes if, let's say we were going to go into Steph's hand right here, sometimes those people that have that really loose skin, or you see them come in with that like petechiae eye, kind of easy bruise, skin tears. Sometimes when you go in with that lidocaine, you'll just see it go whoosh, and it'll be like just like a flood. It sometimes will not make a perfect little wheel. So try and slow your injection down. I never inject lidocaine really fast. I do it very slow because you do not want to lose your vein. And I very rarely will lose someone's vein. If it starts to spread like that, just stop, maybe pull that needle out a little tiny bit and see if you can get a wheel to it. But most of the time, those are a little bit trickier just because it will spread. But they'll still get numbing stuff on board.
Okay. Now, is this lidocaine okay to use with Exparel?
Yes. You can use lidocaine because you're just using it superficial to do your IV. The most important thing is make sure your bevel is up. And the bevel is the only thing you want under the skin. If you've got half of that needle under the skin, you're not going to get your wheel like you're wanting to. That bevel, just that bevel, and you can see how long that needle is, these TB needles. Only that bevel is going underneath the skin. That's all you want under there. Is you're strictly using it for an IV. You're not going to inject Exparel through this. so it is safe to use. It's strictly for your IV wheel.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Candy.
You're very welcome.
All right.